State your name, please.
My name is Frankie L. Patterson. I have a doctorate in math education.
When and where were you born?
I was born in Houston, Texas. I was a World War II baby, 1945.
Okay, what do you remember about your childhood about HBCUs?
I primarily had attended only Texas Southern as an HBU. I did get a year's education around the corner working on my doctorate at University of Houston Central Campus. So I do have a cross-section of the two institutions. In the HBUs, I felt a little bit more uncomfortable because I was unique, being sometimes the only black in the classroom.
At predominantly white institute?
At a predominantly white
University of Houston? Okay.
So I felt a little different. Because of the fact that I worked at Texas Southern first. I attended, this is my first higher ed institution. I felt a little bit more comfortable and at home at Texas Southern. I also finished from a predominantly black high school in the city. And so I was used to pretty much black professors.
Yes.
But I found a lot of difference in the structure of the black institution as well as comparing it to the white institution. However, I still was able to survive, but it was a difference in the attitude and everything.
Okay. Did someone in your family attend an HBCU?
No, I'm a first generation college graduate.
Okay. So you were stating you felt the difference, you seen the difference between a predominantly white institute and a historically black college.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is the major difference between the two?
Okay, I think I also taught at Sam Houston High School in the city the year of what we call the crossover, where they primarily took the best black teachers and put them in the white schools, and I was one of those. During that time period, there was a lot of tension between the students and as well as the teachers. However, the students seemed to me thought that the instructors were different. The battle was not with the instructors, it was with the students themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because of the parents more so than the students themselves. They tended to get along pretty well within the classroom settings, but attending Texas Southern helped me to grow in many, many ways. Even though I was part of the earlier groups, we had long lines in registration. We had to stand outside, and the lines were sometimes wrapped around the building.
Mm-hmm.
But the students, we were more persistent and very patient, because we all were enthusiastic about being college students. So we endured a lot more than the current generation, because registration got smoother, the school got bigger, and everything got to be more convenient. Technology intervened, and it made it a better life in terms of actually getting enrolled and dropping and adding and filling out the financial aid papers, et cetera, et cetera. But the faculty and the staff were very, very supportive of us during those times. Even water was being passed out during the registration lines and so forth. But I remember most of all that we were treated with utmost respect, and we came from a background where we saw the faculty more like parental roles, and we were more supportive in the things that they asked us to do.
Yeah.
As opposed to the students now. They all tend to want you to give them more and not earn more. But all in all, there are some that are really genuine students who are trying to do their best and get their degrees. They are coming to class regularly and they do have little challenges. Some of them are first generation like me, and some of them, the average one, has experienced motherhood. Of Texas Southern in summer of 1964, and a summer institute by way of a scholarship where I took English and mathematics, college algebra specifically. One of the distinguished professors, Dr. Laura Clarkson, in mathematics, the first graduate, and with a doctorate in math from University of Texas, was my professor. He was tough, but his bark was worse than his bite. So he would help you when you come to the office for interviews. That's what I liked about the demeanors. It reminds you of parenting, you know, parents at home and stuff like that. So we were treated very fairly, and it was a little different with University of Houston. It was hard to get the appointments with the professors because they were either part-time. These were full-time, mostly at Texas Southern, so you can access them at any time.
Yeah.
But the others were pretty much, some of them were very difficult to get a hold to. And plus the campus was huge, and it still is. So I just really like the close family life of Texas Southern, and all of the people around, even the registrars and support personnel.
So why did you decide to get your degree from Texas Southern instead of University of Houston?
My goal was always to attend Texas Southern locally because it was, I got married after the first year, and then it was accessible to me. My husband worked at that time for the railroad, so I couldn't up and leave like I wanted to. I really wanted to go to UCLA, but it wasn't in the plans. So then I ended up staying and being content and so forth, and just working myself all the way through. I finished my first degree in 1970 with a bachelor's of art in mathematics here from Texas Southern, and 1972 with a master's in education. So I'm a math educator, not a PhD. I love working with students. And I guess I got that from the treatment that the teachers that work with me, how supportive they were in helping us to reach our goals.
Okay. What was a significant experience while you were at Texas Southern that impacted you?
That impacted me to continue my education?
Or impacted you in general, like that you got something out of the situation?
Okay. At first, I mentioned earlier that I'm a first generation college graduate. So I really didn't know what to expect, and that was a little shaky for me too, because I didn't have anyone to support me or guide me along the way, but I was determined that I would be successful. As in high school, I was very good as well. National Honor Society, so forth and so on. But it was a little bit more challenging at Texas Southern in that I was not able to participate in a lot of the activities on campus, in that I was married and had a little family life going on. But all of the support that was shown through to me, even helping me with tutorial services and etc., that I really liked, and it was very accessible as opposed to other places and institutions.
Okay. How did Texas Southern help shape you into the person that you are today?
Okay, it helped me a lot with the encouragement and the, like I said, the financial support was very, very good. I did not have to get any financial aid until I decided to come back and work on my doctorate degree, which was very, very expensive and time consuming. I did take a leave of absence to finish that. But all in all, they paved the way for me to show me how I could do these things. In my last round of the terminal degree, I was even offered an instructor's position. And that helped me a lot financially to secure, because of course I didn't come from a wealthy background. But they just, they just reached out to me when I go and talk to them. I tell them what issues I was having, and they would, give me some alternatives. And it just worked out pretty good. And I was just glad. I couldn't even believe that it was me that got that first degree. And my family was also a great support as well behind me, being a first generation.
Okay. What advice can you give a current students at Texas Southern?
I can tell them not to give up, to hold in there, and be persistent in what they do. So many of them want to drop courses and this and that when it gets a little challenging, and they don't want to seek any support, put in the extra time. But I would just tell them to hang in there, act more mature, and realize that this is not high school.
Yes.
I came from teaching high school, so I'm very familiar with where they came from. And they just have to work with that.
Why did you choose to come back to Texas Southern and be an educator?
Because number one, I saw the need, and I really like giving back. I'm currently what you might call a charter member of the National Alumni Association. So we're constantly working with giving back to the school and on the students. My aspect is more up to the students, since I don't make that much money. So I give a lot of my time and energy to them, extra hours and extra projects, so that they can be successful.
Okay. Well, I would like to say thank you for letting me interview you. And it's been a delight learning about your life and why you attended Texas Southern.
Okay.
So, thank you.
It was nice being interviewed. I don't think I've ever had an interview of this sort before. This is the very first time.
Okay, that's nice.